Well, it's that time of year again, and today I am taking you along as we get everything printed, prepped, organized, and ready for our first day of school, which this is kind of the middle of the week before our first day of school. And so everything that I still have left to do, I am taking you along for. So that includes small space organization, as well as physical curriculum prep, and just getting all around ready to go. So let's dive in. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are entering our 9th year of homeschool with an 8th grader and a 4th grader. And today, as I've already told you, we are prepping and organizing and getting ready to hit the ground running. Before we go any further, guys, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. So it is that time of year again. We are getting ready to start 8th grade and 4th grade for the 2025-2026 homeschool year. And with, of course, getting ready for every single homeschool year, what comes with that is a lot of prep. One, I need to get my house clean, because if I try to start with my house in the repair that it is, I will absolutely lose my mind. And 2, I need to get the things ready. So we have not started a homeschool year in our new house, which we have even less space dedicated to homeschool than we had before. So it's going to be really important that I sit down with my cart, with everything else, and just get everything where I feel like it needs to be to get started. So that's something that you're going to see in this video. We need to get all of the apps for the things that we are using. For example, our Lego science kits on the tablets and on our computer that we use as a kind of like a big TV, like a big blackboard kind of thing. And then I also have quite a few bits of things that I am printing, which I have never done in our entire homeschool journey. Up to now, I've never done widespread printing. This is going to be kind of a big deal for us. I think the only other time I did do it a couple years ago with Woven Melodies and a few even more resources, but this is a lot of material that's going to accompany our crash course studies that we are utilizing this coming year. So we have a lot of things to prep, and yes, it's time. It's time. We need to get moving. We need to get the ball rolling so that we can be sure that we are ready to hit the ground running come Monday morning. So one of the things that I'm going to take over is how I am physically making our workbooks, for lack of a better term. So I did go ahead and purchase some resources via Teachers Pay Teachers, which if you want to see any of our planning videos, anything like that, they've all gone up very recently. I've got how to figure out your year, how to choose your curriculum, how to figure out your week, Mom and Me Monday, our 4th grade plan, our 8th grade plan. A little discussion about our morning routine. All of the things that you need to have, or any resource you could possibly want, is probably already on this channel if you use that little search bar function. If not, reach out to me, and I'm always adding to my to make a video about list, which is very helpful when you guys let me know what you actually want to see. So, like I said, resources are from Teachers Pay Teachers, which involved kind of a lot of work as far as prep goes, I think. It wasn't like I could simply just be like, go to print. I actually had to download the materials, drop them in a drive, open every single episode has its own folder, open that up, and then go to the PDF that I want to use and select only the page of that I wanted to use for each individual episode, and then print as PDF, and then go, and something I've never done before but was shockingly easy, combine all of those PDFs into one document so that I could get dual-sided printing. Now, something that I did do is I put off all of these steps for a couple of reasons. One, our AC was out for 12 days. If you notice, you cannot hear it. That is because we now have regular central AC back, which is great. And because I'd ordered a new printer, I needed a new printer. And so we did order a new printer. We were waiting for it to come in. Came in right before the AC went out, so that is what it is. But I got an EcoTake printer. If you do want to know more about my printer, I can let you know. We did a lot of research. It was really important to me. I do run a business, so things I've grown quite accustomed to is like scanning, the ability to scan. Double-sided printing, who knew that that is actually getting less common in printing models? I don't understand. And I really wanted the paper tray on the front, which wasn't a deal breaker, but we found one that checked all the boxes. So if you are curious about that, I will go ahead and link it down below, and I'll have it linked on my Amazon storefront. But so far, oh, it's so nice. It prints so quickly. It's like a little workhorse, and it has the liquid tank, which makes me feel really good because one of the printers, I have several printers, one of the printers that I use for my business, it's a high-end like photographics printer, so I don't use that for every little thing. But it takes 8 different pigment cartridges, which makes me feel guilty every single time I replace them because I feel like it's such a nasty amount of waste. So the Eco Tank with all this large volume printing makes me feel so much better. So that. So basically, got them all compiled into one PDF, printed so that I could print double-paged, or 2 to a page front and back, and then bound them. And this is something that I have known for a while that I wanted to do and utilize, and that was disc-bound printing. So I've never had a binding machine. I have never been the person who prints every single little thing out and throws it into its own binder. I've just never done that. For me, I did for my own personal planner, which I've got a whole other video on planners somewhere around this one, before or after. But I knew that I wanted the flexibility of disc-bound printers, and I would go back, or disc-bound workbooks, and I will go back to that in just a moment when I give you the downshot and actually show you what I'm looking at. But I knew that it would be the most accessible and also the most customizable in the moment. In everyday life, we could switch, swap, swoobaroo, and it would be the easiest thing to do. So I will give you a look at what we are prepping and what we are doing, and I will not 100% sure if I'm going to film every step of my organization process. I think what I might do is just give you the end result. Since I did film quite a bit of that in our like new end of school year turnover kind of thing. So I probably will just give you the end result. But either way, let's go get a look down at what I am talking about.
Okay guys, so here I am inside my Google Drive, and I am just opening up every single folder for every single episode and going through and print to PDF page 2 of the 3-page file because that's the page I wanted to use. And then from there, and I tried to show this on screen, but it really doesn't show like inside the file explorer. But I tried to show how I take those save as PDFs and put them into one big PDF. And it's an option I have on my computer. It was really easy to kind of figure out. I basically just open the folder that has all of the files. I select all for every of the PDFs that I had saved. And then from there, I right click. I don't remember if I opened the file first or just clicked combine all and it worked. Now here it is. I utilized ChatGPT's image rendering to give me a coloring page for the various crash courses that we are intending to use. And it just made a fun little coloring page that I printed out and stuck in the front, which you'll see in just a minute. Now, once I had everything compiled, put together, and printed out, we actually had a play date that we were the only people who could make it in the end. And so I set myself up at a table and I took my huge stack of printed materials and I sat there and hole punched them and put the discs in there. There it is, my hole punch, and then my little discs. I'll have everything linked over on my Amazon shop. And then I threw a just kind of a plasticky file folder separator thing on the front and threw a cardboard in the back. And I hole punched these cute coloring pages that I had printed off, and I just stick those in the front. I also color coded by the discs which one is for which kid. So the topmost disc will be their specific color. Of course, art history, I had to throw in a rainbow because, I mean, come on. You've given the opportunity, you've got to take it, right? And so that is what I did. It's so easy. I really love the disc binding because 1, it's not forever, 2, we can reuse it, and then also it's so easy to pop things in and pop things out, which I might regret that by the end of the year, but right now I'm really loving it. They're small enough that it just works well. I'm really pleased with this. So the courses are color coded, and then the top disc is each kid's specific color coding. So It was that easy. It doesn't sound easy now that I'm saying it out loud, but it genuinely was a very easy process, with the exception of having to open up each individual folder to get to those things. Now, here is my very warbly. Normally, this is better sorted. Normally, this has backstock or things for the other years, but it doesn't. It just has all of our fun stuff. So our games, our art, our supplies, and that's it. That's all. This is our reading for this coming year. But normally this is just kind of better set up. But I was filming this like in the 11th hour, the very last minute before the night before we started school. And I never went back through this entire cabinet after we did kind of closing out the previous year. So this is as good as it gets for this year. It was more important to me that we started on time than that we started perfect. And sometimes it's just like that. These Legos are currently living on the floor. I do not like the organization situation that we have going on right now. Those are various just kind of bins of extra notebooks for each kid. This is like all fourth graders. So this is all of the math manipulatives, the DVD, and her flashcards. And those are some extra kind of help us understand fractions, little thingies that came, I think, in a knowledge crate, to be honest with you. So hang on to that kind of stuff because you can use it year after year after year. Now I've got this segregated. This is our younger kids stuff. So fourth grade, as well as an animal a day is kind of the family reader. And then I've got it segregated. And then this is the big kid stuff. And these are all of the either like what I'm responsible for. Okay. So this is the stuff like the instructor manuals or the things that I read out loud. Now this is just various notebooks, watercolor paper, all kinds of craziness. Now again, this is not ideal for me. This is not perfect. It's not finished. I don't want to see this much of it. So we're going to find a new plan. I just don't know what that is yet. Now, this is the 8th grader stuff. I got them a cute little journal so they can have their own vocabulary journal as we head into the new year. All of her individual stuff, and it's all in that little bin on top so she can take that bin and travel wherever she wants to. This is a few more extra things that she's not using all the time. And then these bins are actually still full of their own kind of like personal, they want to keep it closed because they enjoy that. And they're on these little rolling carts that for a period of time were their side tables, but now they're their school carts. We went to a store here in the Houston area called Violet K-Pop, and it has a massive section of stationery. And we found so many goodies we didn't know we needed. Those guinea pig page flags are scented. And then I did get the girls each their own 3-pack set of the friction erasable pens. Look at her cute. Ugh. So cute. And then I did go ahead and kind of like label them each with some vinyl so that I know who's missing whose pin, where it's at, where it should be, and who's got whose pin so that we can keep track of that really, really easily.
That's it, guys. I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. I will have everything that I have shown you, talked about, looked at, linked in the description box down below or on my favorites page over on my website. That way you can find the printer, you can find the discs, you can find the whole book, like anything else that you need. I'll do my best to have it linked and accessible for you. If you have any questions at all, let me know. If you are looking at any of these pieces and you are ready for that deep dive into that specific piece, let me know because I am running that list and I will try to prioritize in like order of what they are. So like math is more important than art, and language arts is probably more important than geography. You know what I mean? Like in that way. So if there's something specific that you want to see more of, let me know and I will get it moved up the list. Other than that, happy new homeschool year. I think by the time you see this, we will have already started. So yes, I will let you know how that goes too. I'm planning to basically give you a follow along for our full first homeschool day. So be sure to tune back in for that. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me know, guys. Bye and happy homeschooling.